Hello, welcome to your portfolio. And I'm making this quick screencast to go over your portfolio, kind of think about what and why we're doing this portfolio. That's probably most important to give you some buy-in about why we should do this. And then secondly, like how to go about managing your portfolio. I think it's pretty simple, so I'm just going to jump right in. All right, so you see here your portfolio, and this is the place where you're going to be recording all of the process steps that you take along the way to creating a essay or a product. All right. And so the importance of the portfolio is that it reflects real learning. The key to learning is awareness. Okay. So being aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it is really the key to becoming a better learner. And so the portfolio is a structured place to help you analyze in a forensic way kind of what you're doing and how the crime happens, so to say. So what we're doing here is we're just recording the steps as we go. And essentially what you're going to want to do is just pay attention to the course calendar and looking at the different assignments as they come up, and you do them. And some of them are recorded in the portfolio. Essentially what you're going to find in the portfolio are reading journals, oftentimes some sentence level exercises, and then a draft or two and a peer response reflection, maybe if we do a peer response, and then a final reflection. Okay, so it's a pretty simple process, and it requires you just to simply reply to this page, this portfolio page, as you go through the process. Okay, so we're going to kind of do that right now and show you how it would happen. So here's a sample reading journal template. It's provided for you at the base of your portfolio. And essentially, so what you would do is your first assignment is to, let's say I'm using this 1B as an example, although this applies to both of my English 1A and 1B class. So your first assignment asks you to do these 3 reading journals, okay, and one of them is to read the History of Science Fiction by Adam Roberts and to fill out a journal for doing that, okay. So essentially, you would then start filling out the journal, okay, and put that into maybe a separate document, and then start to fill out this journal, and then to post it, the completed journal, into your process portfolio. I simply hit reply. Paste it, and then I would put in my answers to the journal here, right? So what do I know about the author? What do I know about the topic? Science fiction. What do you want to know? I'll make a quick guess. This is all really quickly done. You don't have to spend a lot of time with this. I'm just kind of reminding you to annotate while you read, and you can use Post-its or other kinds of ways if you don't want to do that. But it is important to kind of record our thinking as we read. Again, awareness is the key to becoming a better learner. And then I ask you to do a quick summary, to do a response. Somewhere in there we should have a quotation that we use, and then finally to end with a concluding question. Okay, and then you post it. Okay, so then I would go ahead and post this reply. There we go, and that would be the first kind of step to our portfolio. Okay, simple as that. Then in this case, in the first unit, we would be essentially going through the process of preparing, doing discussions. You don't have to, when you use the calendar to go through the items and you see lines through it, means you've already done the discussion. It means it's been completed by you. Okay, so and you don't put the discussions in the portfolio. You only put the things that we're asked to put in the portfolio. In this case, it's all journals, and then the first timed essay. And so after you complete the essay, you would then post your essay there. So let's say you finish your essay, and and this would be all in a proctored essay, right? So you're in the proctored situation. You do all your essay, and then at the end of that, you'd come back here and you'd want to kind of post in this essay here, okay? So that we have also this essay in place here, and then it would be the next thing right after the journal, right? And as the final step to this first for this first process would be to put in your grading chart. Okay, so right after you post your essay, it's recommended that you pretty immediately, if you could, while it's still fresh in your mind, go ahead and then do your final post. And all posts, all units are kind of concluded with this very final post where you do a reflection. I asked you what was the most important step taken by you, so you explain that. What was the most important thing you learned about yourself during the writing of the essay? and then that includes reading or writing. And then what did you learn about the topics through the entire process? So just talk a little about the content. And then you're going to go ahead and grade your essay as best you can and kind of think about what it is. This is the same grading chart that I use when I grade your essay. And so this helps you engage with the kind of the rubric of the class and what we're trying to actually learn. And then you can make a few comments if you want to or not a big deal, as long as you do those first parts and this other thing, and then you go ahead and post that, and that would be a complete unit. You get points for each of these different postings, and so it's pretty easy grades. It's mostly just kind of tracking again your progress, and then see as you're doing this throughout the quarter, we're getting a whole host of different artifacts and different evidence around your process, the things you do to prepare for writing, about the drafts, the actual products that you create, and then the revisions you make of those drafts, and then your final reflections. And so when we're finished with this whole thing, you're able to look back and hopefully really grow as a reader and writer in a way that is substantial and meaningful. Because ultimately that's what we're trying to do here with the course, is help you kind of see really what I see in your writing. So we both need to kind of analyze what we're doing to prepare ourselves, and then also think about like the actual content of the essay and how it's structured and what you understand about good writing, and then kind of compare and contrast those two things, because again, they're both really relevant here. How you prepare and what you know about good writing, and both of those things together are going to essentially help you become a better writer. So that's the portfolio in a nutshell. I hope it helped kind of going over it. It's simply just reply and put in the artifacts that you're asked to do on the calendar. You can also find a list of things to do on below the syllabus page, or below on the home page with the to-do lists on the right, and also the coming up lists on the right-hand side. You can also just go through the modules sequentially, and so there's all kinds of different ways to understand what's due and when it's due in the course. Okay, I don't grade the portfolios until you've turned in your first complete pre-response draft or your first complete draft of the timed essay. So you have up into that moment to kind of put everything in there. I'm willing to give you the last minute to kind of prepare yourselves to write, but I still do want to see those different homework assignments or different steps in the portfolio, and so when they happen, it's not as important to me that they happen, and so I give you up to that last moment of either peer response, that's the writing of your first draft, or when you finish your timed essay to do all the different items there. And there are also discussions, obviously, that you do in the discussion area that will help you kind of build and prepare yourself, but we don't need to put those in the portfolio. Anyhow, I hope this review was helpful and useful, and then good luck with the class, and let me know if you have any questions.